back to the Doctor Who Marathon. I'm your host McEdam, and today we're going to be talking about Music of the Spheres, written by Russell T Davies and is directed by Euro Lynn. Now this is a very special short episode, as it's actually part of the Doctor Who proms in 2008. Back in 2008, Doctor Who had a schedule, its first schedule in the Doctor Who proms in the Albert Hall. And of course, it's mainly targeted to a younger demographic. So at the night, Freema Agama, the actress who plays Martha Jones, had the honour of announcing a specially filmed short episode made especially for the event. And what's really great about it is that it actually breaks the fourth wall, allowing for the Albert Hall to actually be part of the episode, if that makes any sort of sense. It's basically like a live event, and that was just some like really cool stuff. And it puts this Doctor Who story very unique in the first time that the Doctor Who would do a story like this. Of course, Doctor Who would do proms and would have other stories that are like this, that ties in together with the prom. So that's some really cool, nice stuff right there. This story is actually being released in two ways. You can actually watch it as it was intended, as BBC have released a complete hour-long video of the proms, which includes the segment in which they actually edit in together the bit of the Albert Hall, showing the audience's reaction. And it's kind of strange because it's the first time Doctor Who has a laugh track, basically. But you can also find it when it was released. BBC also released a completely episodic version of it, which cuts all elements to the Albert Hall. It cuts all of the clips from the Albert Hall as if like you're watching it, watching what was actually put on screen at the Albert Hall, which is kind of funny because that means that a lot of moments where there's silence, for where the audiences were supposed to laugh and interact, it just now leaves with awkward silences. So I do highly recommend, if you're going to watch this story, to watch it in the original Doctor Who prom edition. In fact, just watch that prom. Doctor Who at the proms is an event like nothing before, with all the Doctor Who motifs and music just playing out in this massive concert. Fantastic. Gotta watch it, you know. So yeah, it's a very strange and unique Doctor Who story, and that's kind of pretty cool. And a lot of this kind of like interactive Doctor Who stuff would become prominent in the 11th Doctor's era, which will tackle some of those stories when we get to them. So this is basically a precursor to set up the style of the 11th Doctor. But anyway, there's not really much to talk about because, of course, it's only like 10 minutes long, but it's a lot of fun, a lot of grass. I just teased something there for you, as this story does feature the return of the Grask. Really cool. But anyway, the story starts off with the Doctor trying to compose his own music, being inspired by the sound that is being generated by the TARDIS. And he's getting ready to, he's writing it down, he's putting it on the board, and then the TARDIS makes a noise, warning him that there is a teleportation device that is targeted into his TARDIS. Something is getting through, which then introduces us to the Grask. A Grask is such a strange creature. It first appeared in Attack of the Grask, an interactive Doctor Who game episode, whatever it is. I have talked about it previously in the Doctor Who Marathon. We also had it appear in 2 stories so far in the Sarah Jane Adventures, and it'll appear again, but it appeared as a henchman character, with Jimmy V playing the character in all of its appearances. So that's some really cool stuff. I just like the Grask. He's just there to cause trouble. He's that's like this. It's just so. This is just little cliched little monster thing. It just amuses me. Come on, man. And the Doctor originally thinks that it's come here to cause trouble, to cause mischief, but it actually came to warn the Doctor about a black hole that has opened itself inside the TARDIS. The Doctor doesn't seem to be concerned by this, but is interested in what's on the other side of the black hole. And so he looks through the hole to witness the Albert Hall. As this will then interact with the rest of the episode, which the rest of the Doctor Who proms, as the Doctor is actually talking to the audience, doing stuff like, hello, no, I can't hear you, gotta say it louder, hello, and you got all the kids in the audience screaming, hello, back, and laughing and all that, and it's some really cool, fun, little interaction. Can you imagine being a kid in 2008, going to the Doctor Who proms, just expecting to enjoy some music, only to have David Tennant as the 10th Doctor just turn to you and it's just like, I can't hear you, shout louder, hello. I can imagine a lot of kids being really happy on that day. That must have been like some really cool stuff. Like this just puts a smile on my face, you know, whenever like kids get to interact with their favourite Doctors and I feel like they're part of the story. It just always gets you there, you know. And the Doctor basically explains that he's been writing his own piece of music. There's this great joke about Beethoven in it. And so he throws the paper into the black hole. And I love the cut of him throwing it into the black hole. And then in the Albert Hall, there's like a paper machine that like throws paper at the audience or at the musicians at the bottom, so they can play the Doctor's music. I forgot to mention the music, the sound in the TARDIS that I mentioned earlier. The Doctor basically explains that if you take all of the gravity patterns of the universe and put them through a harmonic translator, which he did to the TARDIS, that's the music you're hearing, this beautiful orange sound. I don't think it's that particularly great, but the narrative flow is that the characters it seems to like almost be inside their head. It's that good kind of thing, if that makes any sense. And that's what inspired the Doctor to play this music. And so the Doctor throws the paper again. If you watch this in its normal short episode format, the Doctor just throws paper into the point of view of the camera, and nothing happens, really, which is pretty funny. So the Doctor then tells the composer, which I think is Ben Foster, it's like, out of the way, it's my turn. As he uses the sonic screwdriver as those sticks that the conductor does, as the music starts playing, this really, let's be honest, pretty pants. I don't know if that was part of the joke or whether they generally thought it was good. Because the audience reaction is like they happily applaud and they're cheerful. But I think that was because it's the Doctor's song, essentially. They had a massive missed opportunity to have him be the composer of the Doctor Who theme. That would have been really cool. And so you play it and everybody's laughing and cheering and he's having a lot of laugh and the Doctor's like, ah yes, come on, that was amazing. And he turns around only for the grass to have disappeared and it clicks. That portal didn't just open, the grass didn't just appear to warn the Doctor. He's trying to find a way to get into Earth's atmosphere. And so the grass appears on stage in the Albert Hall as the Doctor is like, oh no, the grass, don't let him cause trouble. He'll steal sweets and make smells. We should have a Doctor Who episode where the grass is the villain. A full-on episode. Come on. Well, that's what we need. So that's a really good idea. Why have they done that? That's really annoying. So the Doctor does some wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff to bring the grass back into the TARDIS, to which then he teleports the grass to the other corners of the universe, away from humanity. And the story ends off with the Doctor giving a speech about how everyone is a composer in some regard. Always, everyone has a song in their head. That music of the universe, it's in everyone's head. It's in you, because music is so objective and everybody's got a song in them. Everyone is a composer to some regard. So keep practicing, keep learning, and just have this massive inspiration to be a musician. And that is bloody awesome. Imagine being a kid and you're like this inspiring musician, and then you have one of your favourite fictional characters telling you that you have the sound to make perfect music of the universe. That's really cool. It's a bit cheesy, it's a bit corny, it's true. It's mainly for kids, but it just puts a smile on my face every time I watch it. Come on, what's not to love? And now, here's where it's interesting, because if you continue on from the BBC Prom edition, it plays another sort of a mini event in the play where Daleks come out, and they have, I believe it's Julian Bleach returning as Davros on the stage, and we have the Dalek forcing Ben Foster to conduct the music for the Dalek theme. That's just really cool and fun, and but I highly recommend watching the 2008 BBC Prom. It is amazing. It's one of my favourite Doctor Who non-fiction things out there. It's just really inspiring, and also I just love Murray Gold's music. I can't help it. But if you watch the normal short episode format, of course, after the Doctor says bye, the credits come down. However, they play the original theme song back from 1963. Sorry. Now, this seems like a strange creative choice, if an awesome one. However, there's a reason for it. For you see, this short isn't just for the proms. It was a special. Actually, the proms was a special event because of something. But this story in particular is special because it actually is a celebration story for the 50th anniversary of the Philharmonic Orchestra, the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra, with Tyler Derbyshire being one of the first composers for the BBC and making all of these strange, unique sounds, and obviously their biggest contribution to television is of course their Doctor Who work. So it's kind of a loving tribute to Ron Greiner and Tyler Derbyshire. So that is some really cool stuff. And that's really Music of the Spheres. Not really much to talk about. There's nothing really to... it's just a lot of fun, silliness, a bit mad, as the Doctor puts it at one point. The fact that it even exists and we were able to see this is just awesome. And I just can't imagine how much joy the children who were at the Albert Hall on that day must have felt, feeling like they were part of a Doctor Who episode. That is just phenomenal. But yeah, I don't think you can really judge it as just a normal episode because it's not meant to be made as a normal episode. It's supposed to be just a fun, light-hearted event to entertain the kids in the Albert Hall and make them feel special in regards. So it does its job perfectly, and honestly, I highly recommend you tracking it down. In fact, just watch the BBC Proms. That event is just spectacular. I love the music of Doctor Who. when they do The Doctor Forever, it's just gorgeous. The Doctor's theme with the Ninth Doctor, that's some really cool stuff. But yeah, highly recommended. So that's Music in the Spheres, and technically I guess as well Doctor Who and the Proms 2008, which isn't really canon, but you know, technically it is, because of Music in the Spheres, which means that all of the, not only does Freaky Magma and Catherine Tate exist in the Doctor Who universe, but they also know Doctor Who as a show in the Doctor Who universe, and that would mean that Donna can turn on the TV and see Catherine Tate playing Donna Noble and seeing her actual life in the past. Like, what is the logistics of this? Why is this mental? Ah, the canon of Doctor Who is so messed up. It's so... That's just mad. Can you imagine just Freak Magma now just watching an episode of Doctor Who as if it's real life? And that's just bizarre. That is just bizarre. So, anyway, Music in the Spheres. Sorry, I just went on a bit of a tangent of Doctor Who canonical. But this is a Doctor Who marathon series detailing the canonicity of Doctor Who. If I wasn't allowed to rant about the canon, what's the point of even making these videos? So there you go. That's, again, Music in the Spheres. So join me next time where Sarah Jane has her own little adventures as she meets one of the two Ronnies. So join me next time for From Raxacalifortorius, Raxaphorical Fallipatorius with love. And I'll see you next time on the Doctor Who Marathon. Ta-da.